Yeah, boss of YouTube, 6ftHax here. Happy guys, today a pretty awesome and extremely close OU Wi-Fi battle I had against Kid of Death off of my Discord. Now I know it's a little bit weird for me to not have a beanie on, but I just got out the shower, so I didn't want to have hat hair for like the rest of the day. So I hope you guys don't mind me just showing off all the hair. I know I need a haircut, don't remind me, but I don't know. I guess let me know if you guys like the beanie or don't like the beanie. But also, for those of you who may not know, recently Mega Lopunny was released, so me and Kid both decided to bring Mega Lopunny teams for this matchup. And if you guys do enjoy this awesome battle, make sure to show off your support by hammering that like button down below. So let's get this started. Now the combination of Greninja plus Mega Lopunny is not only hard for me to deal with, but it's also hard for Kid to deal with. So depending on who plays those two mons better, I think in the end will determine on who can win. And at the start of this match, he is going to be playing his Greninja way better than I am because he ends up leading off with it. Obviously being a Mew, I don't want to get smacked with a Specs Dark Pulse, so I'm going to switch directly into my AB Tangrowth as he makes a really good play there by going for the spikes, knowing I'm not going to stay in and risk losing my Mew, which is my defogger on this team, to be able to get rid of Stealth Rocks for my Volcarona. So as he ends up switching into the Landorus, I go for the knockoff. My gut was telling me to go for the Hidden Power Ice, and in hindsight that's definitely what I should have done. But at the same time, knocking off isn't entirely too bad of a play because I'm able to get rid of the leftovers and get off chip damage on the Landorus. I would have also been able to get rid of leftovers on Heatran or the Assault Vest on the Tangrowth. So if I had made the aggressive play by going for the HP Ice, that would have been the better play. Knocking off in the end was the safer play. And then he ends up making another really nice play here. I thought that he would just go straight for the Stealth Rock, so I decided to go for the HP Ice as a U-turns into the Heatran. I'm not entirely too worried about this Heatran, so that's why I switched directly into my Mew. But then he shows Magma Storm. Now, even if I didn't know this was Magma Storm, Heatran Mew was still my safest switch in to this Heatran because I'm not going to switch in a Volcarona and I'm not going to switch in a Greninja or a Lopunny or a Landorus against this thing if I do still have my Mew, which can easily soft bolt up against Heatran, you know, unless he also has Taunt. And this has just become very, very bad for me because if you guys haven't been able to tell, these first couple turns have not been going my way. Since turn 1, I've been on the back foot of this battle just because of that layer of spikes and Kid making very good predictions. So things are really not looking too good for me in this game, and because now he's basically guaranteed to get rid of my Mew, if he's able to get up Stealth Rocks with his Landorus, I'm going to be in an even worse position in this game because he's going to have not only a layer of spikes up, but also have Stealth Rocks up, and I have yet to get up my hazards on his side of the field. So I think he does end up missing a Toxic there, and then he misses a Magma Storm. Honestly, those two misses literally don't matter whatsoever, as you guys will come to find out later in this game. So I am trapped in here because of Magma Storm, as the Magma Storm damage is going to put me in range of where a next Magma Storm is going to knock me out. And because I was trapped, I couldn't switch out anyways. So down goes my Mew and down goes my defogger. And now I need to start playing aggressively if I want to hopefully stop him from getting up Stealth Rocks and just plowing through me in this battle. So this does give me a free switch into my Snow Bunny, the Mega Lopunny, and I'm gonna go ahead and just Mega Evolve, obviously because I have no reason not to. I thought that maybe he was gonna switch directly into the Tangrowth because I expected the switch into Landorus to be way too obvious, which is why I didn't want to go straight for the Ice Punch, which I'm pretty sure I would have been able to 2 KO him, I think, depending on damage rolls and on his EV spread. But by going for the Power Up Punch, I'm able to nullify the Intimidate drop, which is really nice. And as long as I don't get a low damage roll on this Ice Punch, if he is a defensive set, I will be able to knock him out. Come to find out that after the battle, Kid told me I actually got near to max damage on that Ice Punch, which I guess does kind of suck, but rolls are a huge factor of Pokemon, and I've lost plenty of games because of rolls. So getting that high damage roll on Landorus is really good for me because now I get rid of Stealth Rocker, which means that relieves a lot of pressure off of my team, as I don't want to risk Latios being scarfed, so I'm going to switch directly into my Tangrowth. Kid makes another good play here, predicts that, and he's going to double out into his Heatran, predicting my Tangrowth to come in. Now, I can't afford to lose Tangrowth. Tangrowth checks the Greninja, it checks Latios, and it can still chew 2 high jump kicks from the Mega Lopunny. So I'm going to make a bit of an odd and aggressive switch directly into my Landorus here. I kind of half expected him to maybe want to go for the Toxic as opposed to going for the Magma Storm, but honestly Magma Storm was not a bad play for him to go for at all, as he is able to do half damage to my Landorus. I'm in a really tough spot here, so I either have to go for Earthquake or I have to get on my Stealth Rocks, and because he can easily switch into Tangrowth or Latios on my Earthquake, I'm actually going to go for the Stealth Rocks here, as he makes another really good play, stays in, goes for another Magma Storm, expecting me to not go straight for the Earthquake, and down goes my Landorus. And guys, things are not really good for me in this game. So I bring in Greninja, and I'm just hoping that maybe he'll switch out here. Like, him switching in the Tangrowth is by far his best play to make, because at this point I'm pretty sure he realizes that Heatran is pretty hard for me to break through. And it turns out that he actually switches into his Latios, which is awesome because I'm able to get off a max attack stabbed U-turn on this Latios. But unless I had got another max damage roll, I wouldn't have knocked him out with this U-turn. And because there's a chance that this Latios can easily be scarfed, I'm gonna switch right into my AB Tangrowth, expecting him to just Draco or go for Psyshock, I guess, but I think Dracoing obviously would have been his better play to do, as he actually ends up going for the trick. Now that trick is actually a little bit annoying because this means I can't take Specs hits from the Greninja as well as I could have. It also means I can't live a Magma Storm from this Heatran, so I'm basically forced to switch out here. And because this Volcarona doesn't have Hidden Power Ground, I decided just to hard switch directly into it, because at this point it's the most expendable team member that I have. It's not really going to be doing anything as long as this Heatran is around in this battle, and if anything, I need to just get off damage on this Heatran so I can at least have a chance to win this battle, because getting rid of this Heatran is going to make things a whole lot easier for me, because that takes off a lot of pressure from my Tangrowth, and Tangrowth is still kind of an issue for him to break as well. So I'm going to end up just going for the Shattered Psyche here, because it's by far my hardest hitting move to hit this Heatran with. Going for the Quiver Dance did cross my mind, but being at +1 still wouldn't have done anything to the Heatran. So if anything, like I said, Shattered Psyche first turn here, my best play I could have gone for, as I'm able to do a solid like 10. That did literally nothing. That was like 10% after leftovers, so that actually kind of sucks because this Heatran is still a problem. So I'm trapped in here because of the Magma Storm, obviously, and I can't switch out. So I'm gonna make a bit of an odd play here by going for the Giga Drain. The reason I did this was on the off chance that maybe he felt like saving Heatran and switching directly into his Greninja so he could then pick me off and get the Battle Bond activated, because we saw he wasn't Protean. There's no chance he's Torrent, so he's got to be Battle Bond. So that's why I went for the Giga Drain. The extra damage from Psychic really wouldn't have mattered, because this now gives me a free switch into my Lopunny, which I can easily just click High Jump Kick with Stealth Rocks up. I have an even better chance to 2 KO the Tangrowth on the switch in thanks to High Jump Kick. So he's actually going to just fodder off his Heatran here, as I'm able to finally get rid of this damn thing. In comes the Tangrowth. Now I know from a previous battle that Tangrowth can't beat Mega Lopunny 1v1. What I need to do is rely on not missing High Jump Kick. I thought about going for the Power Up Punch, as I get a little lucky here and I get a crit with the High Jump Kick. Kid told me that crit really didn't matter. The only reason the crit might have mattered was that I can go for return here instead of having to rely on hitting a third High Jump Kick in a row. So that may have come to play a role if I missed High Jump Kick, but I'm pretty sure my Lopunny's well trained. As in comes the Greninja. I don't really feel comfortable in switching directly into my Tangrowth, because there is a chance that he could easily pull a double switch or maybe go for the Dark Pulse expecting that, which is why I actually decide to sack off my Lopunny here, because in theory the combination of Greninja plus Tangrowth should still be able to beat his Greninja and his Lopunny. So he does activate his Battle Bond here, which is perfectly fine. At this point I'm 99% sure that he's locked into Water Shuriken. This gives me a free switch into my Choice Scarf Greninja, which will ensure be able to outspeed him, except for the priority from Water Shuriken, but Water Shuriken isn't going to be doing enough damage to put me in range of where spikes are going to knock me out, and that's going to end up playing a really huge role because U-turn after Stealth Rock's damage is a guaranteed knockout on Ash Greninja, which is absolutely amazing because if I can put myself in a position, I can hopefully win with Scarfed Ice Beam coming from Greninja. So I do knock him out with the U-turn, as I'm going to be able to U-turn into my Tangrowth. I could have also brought in Tangrowth instead of bringing in Greninja, but by doing that, he might have felt comfortable in getting a free switch into his Mega Lopunny or into his regular Lopunny, the Mega Evolving, and he could have maybe beat me 1v1 depending on how things went, or I guess it could have just right out Giga Drain and KO'd the Greninja. Either way though, all I need to do right now is get off 2 hits on this Lopunny so I can ensure that Choice Scarf Ice Beam is going to be able to knock him out. But it turns out that he's got the Fake Out. Now, the issue with Fake Out is that he gets off that extra little bit of damage that's going to put me in range of where even after going for Giga Drain, this Lopunny can 2-hit KO me with the high jump kick. And that's really bad because the only other move I have on my Greninja that has a chance to knock out this Lopunny at close to 50% HP is Gunk Shot, which is 80 accuracy. So it literally comes down to whether or not I hit this Gunk Shot. So it's all win or lose right here. As I turn into a poison type, I'm gonna go for the Gunk Shot and I don't miss, and down goes the Mega Lopunny for the extremely narrow 1-0 victory in my favor. Even if I had missed that Gunk Shot, I still would have uploaded this game because I really thought this was a really good battle, man. Kid played amazingly the first couple of turns, but somehow after making the aggressive U-turn plays and even being able to get up Stealth Rocks, man, I was able to kind of like shift momentum into my favor there and pull out the victory. Although I did put myself in a little bit of an iffy situation by having to rely on Gunk Shot, but if he didn't have Fake Out, which I should have considered then, I guess, but either way, I knew that I was going to come down to Ice Beam or Gunk Shot, and in the end, it came down to Gunk Shot. Greninja's well trained, and I didn't miss, so good game again to Kid of Death. If you guys did enjoy the awesome battle, make sure to hammer that like button down below. If you don't like me without a beanie, don't worry, I'll have a beanie next video. So yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. Later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.